John Schott. I am here at Thames Glass. So I've worked here for about 3.5 years, and Thames Glass is a glass shop here in Newport, Rhode Island. We started here in 1981 by Matthew Beekner, and Matthew Beekner was born in Corning, New York, and Corning, New York, we consider the glass capital of the United States. The Corning Museum of Glass, if you ever been there, is there, and they basically have the entire history of glass blowing from the ancient times to today. All right, and so Matthew started Vitrix Glass with his brother in Corning, New York, um, where his father was the director of Stow Glass, which is an old glass production company that is no longer in business. But in 1981, Matthew came here at the young age of about 22 years old, so my age now, to come with his girlfriend to start a glass business here in Newport. So they bought this building for about $35,000 in 1981, and they've been here ever since. So what we do mainly now is we teach lessons. So people come in and we give them a glass blowing experience. So we guide you through the process of the glass blowing, and you get to keep what you make. And so obviously what we do also is we make our own glass. And so the glass blowing process hasn't changed much in the thousands of years it's been around. But we've got pretty much everything you could need to do for glass making here. So the age limit, we usually say 7 and up, but there's really no age restrictions. If you can sit still and follow instructions, you can blow the glass. And the best part about it is, we're guiding you guys through the whole process. So if there's any parts you don't want to do, we can always do for you if you can't do it. But there's not many places that glass blowers that will let you really feel out the process. That's what we're big about here, is we want you to get the experience of glass blowing, not just come in and buy a piece. We want you to know what glass blowing is and have an appreciation for it. So the most popular is definitely just the regular Christmas ornament. We've got 2 big seasons. We've got the Christmas season and we've got the summer season. So in Christmas season, people come in, they usually make Christmas ornaments to go put on your tree. We've been doing this for about 20 years, the lessons. So people have got 20 years of Christmas tree ornaments on their trees. Some people have a full Thames Glass Christmas tree. And then in the fall, obviously, that's pumpkin season. So we make a lot of pumpkins. People can choose whatever colors they want. And then in the summer, it's kind of just free for all. People come in and make whatever they want. We've got paperweights as well. We've got vases and bowls. If you want to take an advanced class, you can do that as well. Just that, we're like I said, we're here trying to give you guys the experience of glass blowing, and we're all about the people here. So we're not hoity-toity about the glass blowing. Glass blowing is very egotistical art form. So we want people to come in and feel like if you love glass blowing, you want to come and figure it out and try and learn. We're here for you.
Once a week, we'll take sand. This is the raw material, right? This is silica, and we dump that into the furnace all day long and cook the sand down at 2,300 degrees. When we come in the next day, we'll have about 400 pounds of molten glass in our crucible. Okay, so the sand mill sound makes clear glass, right? And then to colorize the glass over here, when it's your turn, right, you're going to pick out whatever colors you want out of these trays. So this is just crushed up colored glass, right? These are samples to give you an idea of what each color looks like. And you can mix colors. You don't have to do just one color. So you pick your colors and then you pick an effect. You can do a swirled effect like this, or you can do a speckled effect like this one. Okay, this is all the colors mixed together, just to give you an idea of how it's served. Okay. And then next to our furnace, we have our pipe warmer. Right, you can look in there, the pipes are heating up. Right, so the pipes have to be hot in order for the glass to stick to the metal. Right, we're going to pull out a blow pipe, make over a quick safety tip. All right, you never want to touch the dull part of the pipe. This part is always going to be hot. All right, you can see I'm holding in the middle. All right, this is the part that you're going to blow through. This is a hollowed out piece of steel. And let that warm up. And then over on this end, this is the glory hole. Okay, so this is your reheating furnace. Right, the glass is going to cool down pretty fast, so you constantly have to heat it up to keep it hot and soft. That way you can work with it. And this one gets a little bit hotter than the furnace holds for the glass. All right, and if you're not heating at the glory hole, you're going to be sitting down at the bench. Right, you sit at the bench just like this. All right, we're going to be turning the pipe on these rails. All right, and there's some tools here. I'm going to explain how to use the tools as you go through the process. Okay, and then at the end, so there's a few things I have to do for you. One of them is take the glass out of the furnace, which is called gathering. So we do all the gathering for you. And at the end, after you make your ornament, we're going to break it off right here on this little stand. All right, I'm going to put a hook on for you, and it's going to go right away into this oven. All right, so this oven is at 950 degrees. All right, and then the glass is going to go through the process of annealing, right, which means it's going to cool down really slowly. That way it doesn't break. All right, that's going to take about a day. So that's why they say you can come back in 2 days and pick it up, or we ship it to you. Okay, and then everybody else you can hang out on these chairs, you can hang out over here. The only place you don't want to stand is in between the bench and the glory hole. Okay, but other than that, just be careful. Everything on this side is pretty hot. Okay? So who wants to go first? cooling down. The residual glass on the pipe is cooling down and cracking. So that's what would happen to your orange.
We look at just that decomplete fast.
It's cooling down too fast, so the glass is expanding and contracting, right? So as it's cooling out, that expansion is too great. It'll start to stress the glass out and it'll crack.
Is that how they have that glass when it's cracked?
The crackle glass?
Yeah, is that how they do it?
Well, when you first start to blow up your ornament, right, and it's still really hot, we take the glass, we dunk it into a bucket of water for a second. Just dip it, right, and that will put the kind of surface fractures into the glass, right? And then you reheat it, we kind of blow it up from there, and it actually gets really strong. You know, when you dip it in the water, it's almost like tempering the glass. So, if you do it too much, the whole thing it just breaks apart in the bucket of water.
Yeah.
So it's only for a second, and it has to be really hot. If you did it at the end, your glass would not survive.
You can do this at home?
Yeah.
You can, right?
Oh, yeah, if you're kind of like, I mean, I think you can buy equipment, you know, you go online or, you know, people are selling equipment. A lot of this stuff we build, you know, so a lot of the equipment we'll build ourselves because these furnaces have to be repaired, right? The pots, right, they break. So when that happens, you have to completely take the furnace apart and you have to rebuild it. You can't like kind of recycle it. It has to kind of be rebuilt with new bricks and pots.
How long did it last?
It really just depends on how much you use it. So for us, you know, melting about once a week, we'll get a couple years out of a pot.
Oh, so it's not
And it all depends. Like if you throw ice cold sand into the pot, you're not going to get a long lifespan out of your furnace. But if you're, you know, kind of smart about it, you can get a good amount of time out of it.
So you heat the sand? Or keep
In
it
the winter,
warm?
we'll bring the sand inside for about a day and let it warm up, right? Just that little bit of temperature difference makes a huge difference, especially when the pot is empty. It's that cold glass touching the wall of the furnace, which it's shocking the glass, it's shocking the pot with the temperature, so it cracks. But yeah, you know, you can do this in a garage or. Yeah, I mean, there's another type of glass one that's pretty common that people have home studios with. It's lamp working, so you're sitting in front of a table with a torch, right, and you have rods of glass. They're melting the rods.
Yeah,
that's, you know, you don't need as much of, you know, equipment, and the overhead's a little less, but you can do either one.
yeah.
The sand is from North Carolina.
It's not really sand, it's silica, right?
It's silica, yeah. It's
not
just
like-
crushed up quartz. It's got some other stuff to lower the melting temperature into it too.
Yeah.
But it's mostly
But
silica.
it's not like you're gonna go to the beach and pick up sand.
No, it would, you know, it would cost a fortune for the amount of energy to melt beach sand. You know, just because of all the other rocks, stuff that are in that sand. You could still do it, but it have to melt at really high temperature.
Yep.
So this way with this sand, well, you know, it's a lower melting temperature, lower energy costs.